again, everyone. In my gel extensions video, I mentioned that I usually use the makeup sponge technique for applying sparkle gel to my nails. You can see this is the nail that I've completed from the extension video with the sparkle gel already on it. It is so sparkly. And again, this is called Pink Lady, which is a hot pink with a little bit of a peachy undertone to the sparkles, and it is gorgeous. So I have went ahead and applied the extensions on the rest of my nails using the clear wraps from that video, and I am going to show you how to use a makeup sponge to apply your gel to get a solid gel coverage instead of more of a wash of sparkle. So I use this with all my sparkles, and I really like how it comes out. I have applied and cured my base coat already after cleaning my nails with the Nail Prep Cleanser here. So they are all ready to go for my first application of the pink gel. I mentioned in my other video that I like to kind of swirl the brush out so that it's not too gloppy because you don't want it to be too drippy and make a mess. So for my first coat, I like to do a thin coat of the gel like this, and you'll see what's different when I do the makeup sponge because it applies very differently, but it also has a sort of a thicker quality to it, and this gives you sort of a base with the actual gel to kind of hold on to that sparkle. Some people don't do this step, so it's not absolutely required, but I like to do it. Also, I recently learned a neat technique. If you are not very coordinated at painting your nails, much like me, if you're using a gel or a lacquer, you start the brush here, sort of midway down the nail, and then push it back and pull. That way you're not having to guess at where the cuticle is and go from there. So that's kind of a neat technique that I've been using for applying my gel and my nail lacquers since I've learned it. Okay, so that's just my thin coat. It's already sparkly, but it's nothing compared to what it's going to turn into in a few minutes. I go ahead and bring out my Jamberry LED light. Oh, I forgot my thumb. I actually normally do my thumbs separately from the rest of my fingers when I'm doing a solid gel, but with the sparkles, I like to do it all at once just because it cures a little bit differently. So there we go. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. You can see that. Okay, now we're going to put it in my light that has stuff all over it from such frequent use because I don't ever bother to wipe the stuff off. I just go with it. So while we're letting this cure, I have been thinking about what a great technique this gel extension is. If you think about it, you know, I know a lot of people who are in like healthcare fields or food service or beauty type fields where they are required by their job to keep their nails short, or maybe they just like to keep shorter nails, but maybe it's time for a vacation or a night on the town over the weekend and they want to experiment with longer nails. You don't necessarily want to go to a salon and get acrylic nails for that because they cause a lot of damage and they're expensive, and especially if you're not going to wear them for very long. You don't want to necessarily go to all that hassle. This is also great if you just want to see what it's like to have longer nails or try a new nail shape. So maybe, like me, you keep your nails in more of that squoval. I think that's such a goofy name, but it's a squared oval shape, which is what I like for the shape of my hands and the shape of my nail beds. But maybe I want to get crazy and try a stiletto nail or an almond nail or a coffin nail, and I don't want to commit to that with my actual nail, but I can do it with this gel extension and do something fun. You can make them as long or short as you like. It's also really neat if you just kind of want to play around with different looks and enjoy having long nails sometimes, but not all the time. you really have a lot of versatility with this without having to wait for your nails to grow. I've been very fortunate since I've been taking Jamberry's Beauty Boost. That's our biotin rich multivitamin. My nails have been growing a lot faster and they've been stronger, but I still manage to break them sometimes because that's just how I roll. Okay, so here I have a makeup sponge. They're normally the full triangle. I've actually cut off part of this one. I actually do this every time. I cut it in half and I use half for one manicure and half for the other because I like to be frugal and get lots of use out of it. You can see I used this on this finger. So what I do here, I take a big old gloppy brush full of the gel and I sponge it on here so you can see what that looks like. And then I sponge it onto my nail. Now there's two different ways you can do this. One is just clean up with your cuticle pusher anything that gets on your skin, because it will get on your skin. It can get a little bit messy, but it's worth it for the sparkle payoff you get and without having to do 1,000 coats to achieve it. So you can see it's depositing the sparkle onto my nail, but not the sort of clear gel that it's suspended in. And so it's making this really sparkly look. And this actually, I'm seeing it before I apply the next coat and the top coat. And this would actually probably look really neat with the matte top coat on it, because this has a little bit of a gel metallic, or excuse me, a gold metallic look to it. I think would be really cool. So what I do here is I take my rubber tip cuticle pusher, and it is just like an eraser. You kind of go around and pick up everything on your skin so that it doesn't cure to your skin, which if it does, it's not the biggest deal in the world. I'm wiping it on a paper towel that I have off to the side here. You can always come back afterward and get that off, but once it's cured to your skin, it does make it a little bit harder to remove it, and it also can cause your nails to, or the gel to lift if it's overlapping too much onto your skin. So you can do like that. You can also use something like this. This is one of those liquid latex products that I found on Amazon. It's not a Jamberry product, but you just paint a layer around the nail. And I like to go all the way around and make a full circle because I think it makes it a little bit easier when it comes time to remove it. So I'll show you that as well. This takes about a minute to dry, so I will probably do the next nail over while this is drying so I don't mess it up. But that is an option as well. I kind of go back and forth just depending on my mood. So, oh, sorry, you can't see that. I'm just glopping that gel on there. I hope you can see how pretty this gel is. It is just so gorgeous in person. I wish you could see it up close and personal. Hopefully you're getting a pretty good idea. So here we go. Just dabbing it on, dab, 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 dab. And it makes just this, I always call it the solid wall of sparkle, because that's the look that I like. I mean, this is pretty, this sparse look is pretty for like a top coat, but if I'm doing this as my actual manicure or I'm layering it with something, I usually want it to be sparkles galore and no nail showing through. So I do this pretty thick to achieve that look. I'll go ahead and do that one because it seems like I still have some left. And you can do as much or as little as you want. You can achieve the solid wall of sparkle or the more top coat look or something in between. This technique will work for you. Okay, oops, I got a little too much, but that's why I have my cuticle pusher. Clean that right up. No big deal. Okay, so we'll clean these two up. Look how crazy that is. I just went all over the place. Crazy, crazy nails, don't care. Just having fun with it. That's what's the beauty of this. It's not about being perfect. It's about having fun, and I can always come back and fix any mistakes that I have. So it is not the end of the world. I use different tools to fix them. Sometimes if the side is a little too goopy, I will use a file or my cuticle nipper to get in there, and it works beautifully. Sometimes I use my little scissors to cut off little excess gel. No big deal. Look, I've got it everywhere. It's not a big deal. I want people to know that this is fun and it's easy and it's very user-friendly. You do not have to be afraid of using this at all. Okay, so I think that's pretty dry. So we'll use this technique now, and you can see this probably is easier, even though it takes a minute to paint it on and let it dry. When you peel it off, it gives you such a clean line around your nail that you don't have to be very careful and you don't have to worry about picking it all back up. So it really makes it easy. I'm going to come back and do my thumb later, so you don't have to watch me do 7,000 fingers in a row. According to the instructions with this latex stuff, you can use a tweezer to peel it off. Oh, I may have made my layer a little too thin. I usually double up on this. It says you can do it with one layer or two. Oh, here it goes. Not sure if you can see that. It's like when you're a kid and you put glue on your hand and then like pretend that it's your skin to peel it off. I'm just gonna use my fingers. There we go. So it just came loose. Now you're peeling. It snapped. Okay, peeling it off. Of course, this other hand just has the extensions. There we go. Okay, and there's still a little bit, but it's a lot less, you can see, to clean up than when you do it plain. So you can do either way. You don't have to have the latex, but it also helps if you don't want to have a big old cleanup. So there we go. That's what that looks like here. So I am going to stick it in and cure it again. Excuse me. And so what I do next, I do one more layer like I just did, and I should turn this because it's aimed a little bit toward my gel bottles. And you want to make sure that you don't aim the LED light directly at the bottles because the gel can actually cure inside the bottle. I made the mistake, I think it was last summer, of doing my nails outside on a beautiful day, and I was sitting in the shade, but my gel still started to cure right onto the neck of the brush. And so it is very sensitive to any light that has more UV than like a light bulb in your house. So there that goes. So we're cured. Excuse me. And so I'm going to go do that one more time, and then I will apply the top coat. So I will show you on one nail. That way you don't have to watch me do all of these all over again, because I think you probably get the idea, but I would like for you to see what it looks like as a finished product. I sometimes go back in after I do this. I'll show you. Around making noises. Okay. I like to make sure that the tip is capped as well. Make sure everything's good there. And then I go with the actual brush gel and just kind of brush another layer on top because I think it gives it that nice shiny wet gel look that I really like. So cap the tip, make sure we're good. And then do a little cleanup before we go under the light. And I'll probably have some sparkles stuck to me because that is what sparkles do, but those will easily wash off. Again, no big deal. Nails are not something you should ever have to be stressed over. Nails are fun. Nails are a good way to express yourself. There's just no such thing as a nail emergency. So have fun with that. Okay, we'll cure this finger, stick it back in the light. And again, this turns off automatically after 45 seconds, so you don't have to really pay attention to it. It kind of just does its own thing. And you know when your finger has been in there long enough for the perfect amount of time for the Jamberry TruShine products, because it is all designed to work together as a system, which I love. It makes life so much easier, and I'm all about life being easy and not having to put too much thought into it. As I mentioned in my gel extension video, I am probably going to layer this fun white stripe wrap on top of some of the nails, so you can kind of get an idea of what that will look like with the fun pink sparkle showing through. And then others I will leave just as a pink sparkle. So it's going to be a really cute, fun manicure, and I am going to make sure that I get photos up on Instagram and also in my VIP lounge on Facebook. So now we're just coming in with that top coat to finish it up, because you always, always, always use it as a system. If you don't put a top coat, it just doesn't work the same way. It's all designed to work together. Cap the tip. I made that one just a little too gloopy, so I just wiped some of it off. No worries at all. And then make sure with my little orange stick that that edge is not so sloppy. And then pop it in there one last time, and you'll get to see what this looks like as a finished product. And it just takes a few minutes, and you really get a ton of sparkle that it would take you layers and layers and layers of the sparkle gel to achieve otherwise. So this is a great time saver, and it stays on just as well as any manicure with this gel. So you are going to absolutely love this. Still waiting for the light to finish. You can see it's still going. We're almost done. Hopefully this is something that you will try, whether you do the extensions, the sparkle gel, or both together. I think you'll really love using the TruShine gel system. Okay, so there's our finished product, wall to wall sparkle in every direction, really catches the light, and it makes it almost like those chrome nails because it gives you so much sparkle everywhere. So I hope you'll try this technique. Let me know what you think, and come hang out with us in my VIP lounge and on Instagram. Thanks so much and have an awesome day.